This week on Tim's Two-Wheel Life, I scare a squirrel. I drop my tea. And I have a conversation at a stoplight about bicycles.
What that car was thinking. He's the weird guy with the thing on his head, clapping at the intersection for no apparent reason. Testing out some options for audio and video. Come on here, don't die today. Cows. I was riding home yesterday. I've probably driven down this road 1,000 times, and I never realized how nice it is out here. This up here is the only hill that I have in my entire commute, which is nice. I used to commute in Guam, and if you weren't going down a hill, you were going up a hill. Today I'm on Bella, who's my road bike. I'm wearing my helmet with the GoPro attached. Got the skeleton back door on. Just to see how much wind noise we get from it. I also have a second audio recording device, and worst come to worst, we'll just sync those up. If you're living in someplace cold right now, I feel for you, but I wouldn't give this up. It's Monday morning, 9:20. It's about 65 degrees out. It's supposed to get to 73 today. Bright blue sky. These are the days that make getting outside worth it to me. Now we get the payoff, headed downhill. The road that I'm on is Peabody Road. It's one of two major arteries that connect Fairfield, Travis Air Force Base, Vacaville, which is where I'm headed. And right now there's a big chunk of it that's closed. They're building a train station, and they just closed off. You can see it has a nice wide shoulder here. It's into a bike lane once you get into the city of Vacaville. Vacaville is great for bicyclists. Most of the main roads have a bike lane, nice and wide like this, well marked. We seem to have an obstruction. Looks like somebody sometime this weekend took off scooting through those bushes, dragged them out into the road. Still Monday morning, and it's only in the bike lane, so they haven't gotten around to picking it up yet. If it really bothered me, I could drag it off to the side of the road. But, you know, see if we can make this continue. probably noticed that I stopped at that red light. Which will lead us into our topic for today: cycling etiquette in and around towns. Sometime in the 70s, bicycles moved from mode of transportation to toys. Something kids have until they turn 16 and get their driver's license. Then it goes into the garage. Their bike goes into the garage or junk pile, or is given to a younger sibling and never to be ridden again. And I think part of that is because cyclists don't treat themselves as vehicles. They don't stop at stoplights, they don't stop at stop signs. They get in the way of the flow of traffic, which is easy for me to say because I have this nice wide bike lane to cruise down. But it gives motorists a mindset of bicycles are an encumbrance, not another person trying to get to work or trying to get home, but something that takes advantage of the roads that they paid for in their taxes. And until cyclists start treating themselves as a vehicle, motorists are not going to take them seriously. That's part of it, but yeah. the smaller tires, see, this is smooth. Right. Each time one of those knobs hits the pavement, it's given resistance. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Each time, and then count those knobs times every time the wheel goes around. Yeah. This one here is a. It's a 39 tooth. Go ahead, man. I'll catch up. I think the biggest difference is the shoes. Like, yeah, see, my shoes clip into these pedals, right? So I can pull up on the backstroke, so I get twice as much power just from these shoes. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. And then these shoes don't have any flex in them, so like when your shoe is flexing, you're losing energy. Right. But my shoe doesn't flex; it goes all into the pedal. All the mechanical play a role. Yeah. Right on. Yeah. You too, bro. live the two-wheel life. When you're sitting in a cage, you're insulated from everybody. When you're on a bike or a motorcycle, you're out there for the world to see, talk to, and look at. And it just kind of makes more of a connection, I feel. So back to our original topic, which was cycling etiquette. So a lot of motorists feel that cyclists don't pay road taxes, or which generally isn't true. Most cyclists have a car. They've paid their fair share for the road. But on that day when you're riding, nobody sees that car. So they just assume that the bike lane you're in costs them another half a lane that cars could be traveling in, if you don't treat your bicycle as a vehicle. You can see here I'm on a path that kind of cuts through between two main roads in the city or town. Really, it's a town. It's on its way. And that was paid for through taxes. Most states and municipalities treat bicycles as a vehicle. You have all the rights and responsibilities of a motor vehicle. So if there's no bike lane, you want to ride in the lane of traffic. That is your right. Are people going to get upset? Yep. Does it really matter? Nope. Unless they run you over, then it matters. But I generally stay off to the side of the road, even if there is no bike lane, unless I'm downtown someplace and the speed limit's 25, 30 miles an hour. I can keep up with cars there, and I'll just get out in the lane of traffic. When they're waiting at a stoplight or a stop sign, I'll wait at the stoplight or stop sign, just like a car. Coming up behind you. Good morning. Riding for 15 minutes. I'm about probably 2/3 of the way to work. Keeping with the etiquette theme, back there I was coming up behind well, you saw it, a woman and her kid, or somebody's kid. Bicycles are quiet, and if you don't let them know that you're coming up behind them, who knows if that kid's gonna jump out in front of you. Even the lady might jump out in front of you not knowing you're coming up behind. And if it's really crowded, like when I used to commute in Washington State, it was all on bike path. Well, 90% of it was. Squirrel again. It was 90% on bike path, and it was a heavy use bike path that linked Seattle up to Everett, and I hopped on it in Linwood. You would call out which side you're going to pass on, so on your left, on your right, so that even the oncoming people could know where you're planning on moving to in the bike lane, bike path. Just a little bit of thought can help prevent conflict with all the other users of the travel ways. Most people are super nice. When I was riding in Guam, I thought, oh man, every other day I'm going to get beer bottles thrown at me. People are going to be yelling things, trying to swerve me off the road. There's no bike paths there. But everybody was super nice, which surprised me a bit. Uh-oh, we lost our tea. We'll have to go back and get it. Maybe. The trials and tribulations. There you trying to roll downhill on me. Really have time to get this tea. I do have to get to work and change. This guy's probably going to run it over in his truck, and then it'll be all for naught. Cagers get so angry. Cute dog. One. Good morning. Now we're in a bit of a hurry. In retrospect, I probably should have left it too. But, you know, it is what it is. Work will still be there when I get there. Got 15 minutes. So I gotta be. So stopping at all the red lights and stop signs takes longer. But my motorcycle, my commute is about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on traffic. By car, it's about 30. And by bike, there's a tailwind. It's only about 24 minutes. So it's right in there along with everything else. Something I wouldn't notice in a car. At intersections, with the bike lane, when I'm going straight, I try to get into the farthest right lane, just inside of it, and a little bit into the crosswalk, so that the car behind me in this lane can pull up to the stoplight. Anybody who's turning right can still turn right, going behind me. But the more you treat yourself like a car, the more the cars will treat you like a car. Well, I'm going to sign off for now.